Yes, thank you for Karim. Thank you for coming to this fireside chat with Accelerace. This is kind of an ongoing thing. I think it's our fifth fireside chat. Karim is from a company called Washa, one of the exciting companies that we've been working with in Accelerace. And today we were going to talk a little bit about how you bootstrap a startup. Because I understand that's what you have been doing so far,
yes.
And now you have actually in the transition of coming from bootstrapping to raising capital. But maybe Karim, you could start by introducing yourself and tell us a little bit about the Washa and the story around Washa and how you've come so far.
Yeah, cool. My name is Karim. I'm 24 years old and I'm the CEO of Washa and co-founder of Washa. I started Washa with two of my friends, old friends that who I played football with, Yannick and Max. And actually Washa started as I was working for a startup called Drinkster, where I'm also a partner at. And every time I was coming home late, we didn't. We had a laundromat where we can reserve time, but there weren't any available time, so I was always washing in the middle of the night. Which is why I actually tried to look for a service where I could get my laundry picked up, and I couldn't. So I went down to a dry cleaners and asked how much it would cost to actually clean my clothes, and it was too expensive. So I thought, okay. It can't be right. It should be cheaper, and you should make it cheaper. It was 80 crowns per kilo, so it was crazy. I had to pay 800 crowns to get washed, like only 10 kilos. So I contacted Yannick because he just quit his job and had 6 months of salary. So he wasn't he didn't need any money, didn't need any salary. And I contacted Max because he was studying computer science. So and they were actually also hooked on the idea, and I told them let's just start an online laundry and dry cleaning service. First we started only a laundry service because we couldn't afford a dry cleaning machine. It cost almost 1 million crowns to buy a dry cleaning machine. So we started only washing it in Yannick's apartment. So we had a washing machine and we had a tumble dryer. That was actually it. And we didn't have a car at that point. So. Max had a little bit of money, so he bought a car for 5,000 crowns, a Mazda 323 from 1996, yeah, and we just started, and a small baggage weight that we could use so we can weigh the clothes, and we started with a simple price of 15 crowns per kilo, and a simple website, one pager, and then we just started posting it to our friends and creating a Facebook site, actually not using any money on marketing. And some of our friends began to use it actually just to support us to start with. But then it began to come more and more. There began to come more and more orders. We got some knowledge about how to do online marketing, and I was doing online marketing already a little bit at Drinkster. So it was interesting to see like the effect of the work that you're doing and what the outcome is. So we begin to get more and more orders. We begin to know how to get more and more orders, and then we thought, okay, there should be a business here. If there's 10 people who wants to use it, then there may be like 1,000 or 2,000 or 1 million people using this. Also, in the meantime, we also saw other countries starting where the service is beginning to come. So we thought, okay, we actually had a good idea here. What we then did after, we contacted a dry cleaner and showed him actually all our orders. We had 300 orders at that time after 7 months. And we told them, you can get a part of these orders, so do you want to start with us and let's split the cut 50-50. They started to say yes, and then we could also offer the dry cleaning service.
Sure.
After some while, we got an article at Metroexpressen, and that's where we're actually our story began, and it really began to speed up. So we got a lot of orders, and after a month we had to find another dry cleaners because our current dry cleaner couldn't wash all the clothes. Okay. So we contacted another dry cleaners called Accelerace, and who we collaborated since October last year. Yeah, no, not last year, but 2015. 2014 then.
Exactly. 2 years ago, yeah.
Yeah. And we started with him. So he had a lot of capacity. He had 8 washing machines and had 2 dry cleaning machines. So he could take a lot of capacity, and we didn't have any difficulty. We didn't have any difficulty delivering it within the 48 hours. After a while, when we came at Metroexpressen and got a few more articles, Berntsen contacted us, and still it was only me, Yannick and Max who was working there. So Yannick was driving from 7 in the morning to 9 in the evening. I was doing online marketing. I was contacting different office hotels and different companies and trying to actually close some deals where we can get them. We could dry clean the clothes or wash their clothes.
Sure.
And Max was working on our WordPress site. So we were all working. Yannick was the only one working full time. I had, after starting Washa, so for a while I had a job also at Autobutler, and where I was also doing some online marketing for some while. So after Berntsen contacted us, we were a little skeptical because we were afraid like it was the big guys who wanted to eat the small guys.
Sure.
So, but we said, cool, let's have a meeting with them and see what they have to offer. At first, they just wanted to have a regular cooperation where we just washed our clothes, but we weren't that interested in that. We wanted them to have the same goal as us and to make us big.
Sure.
So we asked them if they wanted to invest, and they said they weren't sure, but they would love to have a chat about it. So we sent them a pitch deck and talked with their CEO from Denmark, Christian Ellegaard, who actually loved our service and liked us guys. And after 9 months, without having actually any money, and we had to have an attorney, but we didn't have any money, so we took a very big risk. They said they had Plesner, who was number 2, the best law firm in Denmark right now. So we thought, okay, let's take number 1, even though we can't afford it. So we chose Kromann Reumert. And actually we chose Kromann Reumert. That was thanks to you, Accelerace, and because we got the free hours from the Accelerace program that we took. And that was actually a very good decision, I would think, right now, that we got some attorneys and also took this risk that even though we didn't have any money, the worst thing that could happen is that we had to take a loan and pay our attorney back or something. So that was the greatest, the biggest cost we would have if we had chosen that. In the meanwhile, we were also on Accelerace, where we were getting some great advice from especially David, who was my mentor and who is now chairman at Washa. So he also helped us and helped us understand actually the deal that Berntsen wanted to make with us. But in the meanwhile, we talked to Berntsen and also in November 2014 and first closed the deal in July 2015. So it was a long run. We were actually already getting very tired of actually washing the clothes in Yannick's apartment. Yannick was tired of driving all the time without getting any salary. Me and Max were always transferring some money to him, and each time we never to actually save money. What we did, we never filled up the car totally. We always filled it up with 100 crowns to make sure that we didn't use too much on fuel. So that was very bootstrapped. So and I think that it was the best thing for us, because taking a big loan on something you don't know will work was a great risk for us there. I had already an apartment I had to pay. The good thing is that we didn't have any family to provide. I was single, Yannick is single, Max was single. We don't have any kids. We're only 24 years old, so we didn't have like an economical responsibility like that. I could quickly move back to my mom's if I wanted, and Yannick could quickly also move back to his parents if it was. But it actually ended that after 7 months going, Yannick moved to my apartment where he lived right next to my bed. I had a little couch where he always was sleeping. So he lived there for 6 months because he couldn't afford paying his apartment. So he had to find somewhere else to live, and the cheapest way to live was to live at my place.
Sure.
And yeah, after some while, closing the deal with Berntsen, we got a great investment. We got a little bit of more money. I could throw Yannick out of my apartment because I also was getting a little bit tired of living with my founder.
Exactly.
It could be too much because then we were working and talking about this 24/7. So sometimes we needed some space.
Sure.
And yeah, it was a great journey. We learned a lot about each other also, and also about the thing was that the more we came in the process, the more dedicated the team was, because we've been doing this and been working for no salary with nothing at all for so long. Now we couldn't just stop, because even though people were getting tired, we were still having this. We were still motivated and dedicated, and we still thought that this service was here to stay. So yeah, when we started to deal with Berntsen, we moved over to their offices in Kastrup, where we sit with them. And first we got a small room where it was only me, Max, and Yannick, and then we got also a little bit of money, so we started hiring some people. We hired a developer, because that was good for Max, so we could get some more services and optimize our website. And we got an assistant called Frederick, who's still here in Washa today. After some while, we began really to know also a lot about Berntsen's company and how they actually make money, which was good for us because we took all the inspiration that we needed from there. In the meanwhile, we got a lot smarter on our service, and also we raised our prices twice, so we had to make some great decisions and some hard decisions, because we wanted this to be a service that was actually cheap and was for everybody.
Sure.
And I think still the service is, even though we raised the prices twice, I still think that the service is for everybody, and we have a fair price.
Sure.
So the young student can use it. And yeah, after Berntsen, we went to television, where we went to something called the Løvens Hule, which is the Danish version of the Dragon's Den.
Exactly.
And where we got 3 investors also, who was Tom Ehlers, who started Podium and Syp, and Christian Stadil, a man behind Tornegård, and Hummel, and Jesper Buch from Just Eat. So we got actually a very, very great team there. We have here Accelerace, who is our advisors. We have Berntsen, who is also our advisor and investor, and then we have three great business angels. So from there it really began to go fast, and we were growing with 50% each month the last 6 months. So we really know what to do when we got the right advice, and also getting money is very, very important at a time where we couldn't take more orders, me, Max, and Yannick. We were all driving, we were all borrowing cars from our moms and our dads when we got too many orders. So we had to we had to get money, and we knew also that when we started it, that within a year, if we didn't raise any money, then we had to stop the service, because you have to have money to scale and to be a venture case.
So if you should kind of compare, and I know this is a little bit hard because it's a little bit hard to say, well, what if? But basically, if you should compare a situation where when you started the company, you were going to raise money and say, well, we won't start before we raise money, and compared to the situation where you basically bootstrap your way through the first 18 months or something like that. Have you kind of thought about the benefits of actually going that route compared to
how we did it?
Yeah, actually kind of the benefit of doing your bootstrapping way compared to you raising capital from the beginning, basically.
Bootstrapping our way is more. There isn't a big risk You don't offer anything of your company at first, so that's you still have 100% of the company. You're still 100% shareholders. It's your company. The good thing is also you don't have to make a business plan. You don't have to also maybe invest a lot of money in a website. It's actually quite simple. Our website, it took us 9 hours to make the website, and we were ongoing at the right ahead. When we started, we got the idea in January, and after talking a little bit, in the 9th February, we actually launched our website. So it went quite faster. So I would say the speed, and also not knowing if something is possible is very difficult. So we wanted to know before we went out and raised money. We wanted to create some traction, because if we have created traction, we would also raise money at a higher valuation.
Sure.
So that was one of the things that was very, very important for us. Also, it was just to give something that we don't know the value of.
Yeah.
So that I would say was the benefits of that. It was that we waited actually a long time and got a quite high valuation with Bertelsen, even though we didn't have the biggest revenue.
Exactly.
So that was that's why I think that was the benefit. We didn't sell out of something we didn't know the value.
One part is that you can basically work and you can raise your valuation, you get a higher valuation, and of course you can keep control. But isn't kind of, in my perspective, one of the benefits also about bootstrapping is that you basically force yourself to be driven by the customer demand.
Yes.
So basically you need to go where the money are, and as one thing, and the other part is that you need to be part of every single part of the business. So basically, if you raised money early, you could outsource the washing part. You could do a lot of outsource the building of the website and stuff like that. But by the way that you've done it, then you potentially know every bit of part of your business a little bit better, because you actually done it all yourself.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
That's correct. That's correct. We know everything. I actually still on my app, even though I'm not doing customer support at all, I still see all the customer requests.
Yeah.
So yeah, of course, and also driving myself, I also got a lot of inputs from our customers, and Yannick also got that. So we knew a lot about our customers, and we actually got very friendly also with our customers. So they gave us a lot of advice, and we took a lot of the advice to us. So yeah, we know a lot about the company, and actually it's also maybe sometimes a bad thing, because I don't like knowing what's not happening, even though it's not my job to know. So sometimes when I see, okay, there's 6 mails from support that hasn't been answered, I still ask, why aren't they answered? Is there a reason? Because I have to know, even though I trust that my coworkers are knowing what they're doing. You still get you still have to know, and you still feel like you have a responsibility. So yeah, of course, we could have hired that, but I think that for the company, it's actually quite healthy. Maybe not the first 18 months as we did, but maybe the first 6 months to actually be bootstrapped in a way and not be too many people, because then you will have you will miss a lot of things that maybe are quite important for your company. A thing that was quite important for us, that we just changed for our customers, and that's because we listen to our customers. Normally, we don't give a receipt when we pick up the clothes. The receipt is actually their confirmation mail, but a lot of customers asked us about it, and we just implemented that, and it has given us some great ratings also on Trustpilot. So we always adapt to what the customer demand is. Exactly. It has been easier to take these decisions, because let's say I wasn't out driving, I wouldn't maybe trust the advice of a customer, and I would, and if we get this from 4 or 5 customers, then maybe we should think about it. But if it's only one person who comes to me from the company and says, "Hey, I think we should change this," then I would maybe have said no, because I haven't got this reply from 5 customers.
Sure.
So I think it's for the first 6 months where you were actually trying to create this business and having like a vision of how the service should be, an idea of how it should be, then I think bootstrapping is very good for a company and very healthy.
Exactly. And when did you kind of at what point in time did you realize that, well, now we need to raise money, and what was kind of your thought about that?
That was when we were beginning to make budgets and we were looking at, okay, we need, if we want to scale this fast, then we need this amount of cars, we need this amount of money to marketing, we need, we have to fill up our cars not only with 100 crowns but actually 700 crowns at that time. We have to give it a full tank. Also, we had to. We had to make a budget where you have, if you want to lease a car, it's not only the leasing, you also need to have 30, 40, 50,000 crowns, depending on which car it is. Also, you have a leasing contract is 5 years, so that's also a kind of loan that you're taking.
Sure.
So looking at that, we were going to take some risks. And so that was why we were actually thinking, okay, now we need to raise some money. And what actually Berntsen also told us when they looked at our prices, they told us, hey guys, what you're doing is very, very great. Now we've been doing this for almost 100 years. You need to earn money because we know that you're not earning anything. And they actually also gave us some reality. David was from Accelerace also told me a lot about, now Karim, you have to earn money because this is fine. It's a cheap price and you're getting a lot of traction, but you have to make some important decisions now. So that was there where we thought, okay, to make it scalable and to also open up in more cities in Copenhagen. To start with, we will only in some different in different places, inner city.
Yeah.
Then we knew, okay, we needed to, and Yannick didn't want to drive anymore, so we needed to pay a real salary, and we couldn't afford paying a real salary. We had our developer. He also had a salary. Have to have a salary, and developers in Denmark are not cheap.
No.
So we already there. We were like, okay, we were already going to spend 500,000 within six months if we wanted to scale with this and create this traction. So we knew, okay, we needed some money, because it would have been impossible to create this kind of traction if we didn't have, because we were always thinking about how to pay the next bill. We couldn't even pay our insurance for the little car, so how could we pay the insurance for a big car?
Exactly.
So and I was also tired of not getting a salary, and Yannick was also tired.
Sure.
We needed some economic stability to also not think about our personal life.
Yeah, sure.
Because that took a lot of focus out of the company. That we didn't have any money. We couldn't even afford to buy cigarettes and those kind of stuff. So
no, exactly. Yeah. So the part was actually you were going from a transition, from a transition where you were basically able to doing everything yourself, but taking it to the next level, you needed to get additional resources on board as kind of as one thing, and then of course totally understandable that at some point in time you get worn out about doing everything yourself and want to take it to the next step as an important part of say, well, can this business grow? Have you then also kind of used raising capital as part of the validation of your business and thinking about, well,
yes, of course,
does this actually work?
Yeah, of course, because if some like let's just say Berntsen is a very, very big player in is the biggest European industrial laundry company. Looking at them already investing in us, and they know a lot about the market. Sure. They have been doing this for and are in 15 different countries. Already there, they validated us as actually a great company. Yeah. And we had a great spin-off doing PR with this, and then getting another validation from 3 great investors was very, very important for us. So already there we have used it to against other investors, towards other investors, and I've told them if they think also this it's a good idea, then it should be a good idea, because they have also looked at our company quite at our company details, looked at how we earn money, how the structure is, how we are as persons, if we could achieve or could be a VC, a venture case. So yeah, we've used it a lot for validation, and especially our cooperation and partnership with Bernsen is quite important for us, because that's what makes us, what gives us the possibility to actually come into different countries. I think if we started this and still had to you make small deals with the different dry cleaners, it would have been very, very difficult, because logistics here are a main problem in our company. We've solved the problem, but I don't think it would have been solved if we had to have different dry cleaners, because then we had to have different stops in different cities and different checkpoints, which makes it quite difficult when we only have one checkpoint here.
Sure.
And we can wash as much as we want. There's not actually any loft. We're not we can wash as much as we want.
Sure.
There's not a problem
exactly.
there. So yeah, we've used it for some validation,
exactly.
and that's good. Also showing them that we have muscles. They're a great partner with us, and they are good mentors also. And we're sitting in the same building as them, so we're always possible to get some advice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, Karim. It's been a pleasure listening to your story, and I think that kind of one of the captures that I got is that basically in the transition from bootstrapping to trying to raise money, one part is about, as you say, about the resources. You basically run out of resources at a certain point in time, and the free resources that you can get are actually getting to limit your company as one part of your thinking. The other part is also say, well, the other part that you run out of is basically new input and new ideas. Of course, you had a lot of input from your customers and stuff like that. We'll continue that, but also having external people in looking at that. And then the third thing maybe be kind of your whole personal risk profile, because at a certain point in time you get to
yes.
Can we still run?
Yeah.
Can we still run without a salary? And what is the risk? And what is actually the opportunity? So being a startup, you have to think about, well, where are we on these different matters when thinking about raising capital or actually continuing bootstrapping. But it's been fantastic having you on board and telling you about Washa, and the best of luck. Yeah, best of luck with the continuing Washa and growing it even more.
Thank you. Thank you very much.